So he's one of the most underrated bowlers that Sri Lanka has produced and bowled with a smooth action. He's a veteran of 139 international matches. Today we have with us on the Free Press Journal former Sri Lankan cricketer Farveez Mahroof as we look ahead to the Asia Cup. Hi Farveez, my name is Iyer Jaiswal. Thank you so much for taking out your time for this interaction. How are you doing?
Hi, Aish. Doing well. Thank you very much. And yeah, looking forward to the Asia Cup.
Yeah, absolutely. Firstly, what are you expecting out of this Asia Cup? The landscape of some of the teams have changed. No Virat Kohli, no Rohit Sharma for India, no Babar Azam and Mohammad Rizwan for Pakistan, no Bhanuka Rajapaksa, the hero of Sri Lanka's 2022 Asia Cup win. Afghanistan is promising to be a cricketing superpower. What are you looking forward to the most in this Asia Cup?
I see it as a good opportunity for the players who are replacing all these names you just said. And it's about the new generation coming through as well. And some of the names you just mentioned, likes of Virat, Rohit Sharma, and all these players are wonderful players for over the years. They've done so well for India. Babar Azam, unfortunately, going through a bad patch, lost his players as well as Mohammad Rizwan. I reckon it's up to the new generation now to pick up the mantle and be the next Babar, be the next Virat. And Asia Cup is a tournament, the entire Asia obviously watches it, and it's a prestigious tournament. Every time it's been played, but Asia Cup is it's a tournament where you stamp your authority as the kings of Asia. So it's an important tournament for many reasons. Also, with the World Cup in the horizon early next year, I think it'll be a perfect platform for the sides to know who exactly are ready for the World Cup coming up.
Okay. Are you expecting India to be overwhelming favorites to win the tournament? They haven't lost a T20 series since Suryakumar Yadav became captain. They are also the reigning world T20 champions and obviously spoiled for choices across facets. How do you see their campaign panning out?
I think when it comes to world events, every time India will start its first, in my opinion, though it'll be ODIs, Test cricket, T20, doesn't matter because the wealth of talent what India has in their disposal is just amazing. So I reckon certainly India will start as favorites, but do not write off the other top four countries. Pakistan is doing well at the moment in UAE, playing the Tri Nation. Zimbabwe, Sri Lanka is playing a series. They just won the two ODIs. They'll be hoping that they will finish the tour with a good ending with the three T20s to come up. As well as Afghanistan is playing the Tri Nations in UAE. Bangladesh are doing well. They've won three bilateral series back to back. So they are also forced to reckon with. So I reckon looking at the past, in the recent past, and looking at the moment presently, it will be the most toughest, most competitive Asia Cup, in my opinion.
Okay. Shreyas Iyer's non-selection created a lot of ripples. India do have highly accomplished players in that middle order, but how much will his tactical nous or the fact that he was part of the Champions Trophy 2025 winning squad, a tournament that was also contested in the UAE earlier this year, that bit of experience, how much will it matter or will it be missed?
I think I've heard a lot about fast players speaking about Shreyas Iyer, Yashasvi Jaiswal. I just have to say that they are very unlucky. They are two quality players, match winners on the day, superstars. Just unlucky to be honest. I mean, I was watching the press conference what Ajit Agarkar did, and he said clearly that they have not done anything wrong. They certainly deserve a place, but they just can't fit into the side. So again, as you correctly said before, that India are spoiled for choices when it comes to players, especially in the batting department. So
Yeah.
I reckon they'll be missed, but they just have to wait for their time. And when they get their time, they need to somehow, make sure that they'll not give the place to anybody else. They score heavily because for me, I'm a big fan of Yashasvi Jaiswal. I've seen him from the under-19 days in the 2020 World Cup in South Africa. That's where I was closely watching him since I was with the under-19 Sri Lankan side in South Africa. He was such an impressive boy then. And within 6 years span, he has come a long way. So I'm a massive fan of Yashasvi Jaiswal. I'm gutted for him for not making it. But, as they say, you just have to wait for the time.
Of course. Having played as a fast bowler yourself, Jasprit Bumrah's or the management's call to not play him in all the matches had somewhat come under the scanner. What's your take on the issue?
I think Gautam Gambhir led the management is very smart to try and pursue Jasprit Bumrah's career long as possible because the amount of cricket Jasprit has played, especially in the Australian series. I remember, just before he broke down up in Sydney, he bowled so many overs in the first 4 Test matches. I mean, at that time, I was thinking that's a massive workload, and unfortunately, in the fifth Test match, yeah, I think he had a back niggle, which he was struggling for a little while. And it's part and parcels of fast bowlers breaking down. It'll happen. No matter how fit you are, there will be a time that you will break down and it'll take a little while for you to recover. So I think India is being very smart by managing his workload, only playing 3 Test matches in England. I saw a lot of past players, questioning about the move. But being a fast bowler myself, I understand what Jasprit is going through and what India's management is trying to do to have his career long as possible. So very, very smart. And he's a player. He's a generational player. You don't have a replacement for Jasprit Bumrah immediately. So it might take 5, 10, 15 years, or maybe never. We never know. So when you have that asset in your country, look after him. That's the message.
Absolutely. Also, India do have like a very well-rounded squad with a host of match winners. But how much will the absence of seasoned players like Virat Kohli or Rohit Sharma be felt? They've been the standout players against Pakistan, regardless of the format, and that will be a high-stakes contest. Do you back the present crop to handle the enormity of that occasion?
Yeah, the pressure will play a massive role. I think,
Yeah.
especially after the recent part, whatever happened among the countries, it will play a major part because it's the first time the two teams will be going up against each other. That too in Dubai, so I'm pretty sure the atmosphere will be electrifying. And it's all about being in the moment. I mean, as sportsman, as a professional, you like to be in the big moments. You want to be in the limelight. But while doing it, you got to concentrate even harder. Especially the India-Pakistan battle. Everyone knows it's the most toughest. So I reckon this is where the youngsters may feel a bit, some pressure a little bit more. But India has got enough experience in that side to just keep things calm. Because if India brings the A game out, I think they should be beating Pakistan. But Pakistan, we all know, on their day they can be lethal. They can be quite brilliant. So expect anything from Pakistan. But as I said before, India will certainly starts at favourite, but certainly not walkovers. Pakistan, Bangladesh, Afghanistan, Sri Lanka. All these teams are coming in with some sort of a form into the Asia Cup. So again, I'm saying it. This will be the most competitive Asia Cup in the recent past, in my opinion.
Okay. Speaking of Sri Lanka, does the recent form concern you? Because it's like they actually lost a series to Bangladesh recently and collapsed to 94 in one of those matches while chasing 178. Do you expect them to come good for the Asia Cup?
Yeah. I mean, as a Sri Lankan, I obviously want Sri Lanka to do well.
Yeah.
But yes, it concerns me certainly the way the Sri Lankan top order collapsed in the last couple of games up in Sri Lanka when they lost the series to Bangladesh 2-1. And in the Asia Cup, it's just one chance because Sri Lanka is in a group.
Yeah.
It's a group of death. One side will be going out, so you need to bring your A game from the first game itself. So the first game is up against Afghanistan. They're full of match winners. They're full of good T20 players. So it will be a tough task. But for me, if Sri Lanka bats well, the top order fires, that's where the game can be won or lost. So I'm just hoping that Sri Lanka starts well, because in a tournament like Asia Cup, it's always important to start well, because in case if you lose one game, it can be Bangladesh, Afghanistan, Sri Lanka. A lot of pressure will be going into the second game. So you want to start well.
But on the other hand, how much of a boost it is for Sri Lanka to have Wanindu Hasaranga back in the scheme of things? He's a wily spin bowler, a bona fide wicket taker, who can also be used as a floater in the batting order.
Yeah, it's a massive inclusion for Sri Lanka. He's not playing the 3 T20s up in Zimbabwe. He's still recovering, but he'll be fit in time to play the Asia Cup. So that's a massive advantage. And he's a big game player. he performs when the crunch moment is on. He's a character. You need characters in a side, so he's certainly a character. But one thing that disappoints me of Wanindu Hasaranga is his batting. I think in the recent past he has not performed up to his reputation being a floater. He has not made that contribution. So I just hope that Wanindu Hasaranga, the batter, will also contribute. We know the 4 overs of his is going to be the wicket-taking option for Charita Sri Lanka in the middle overs. So that will remain. And he's an all-out player. He's an ex-player for Sri Lanka, just like the Hardik Pandya for India. It's Wanindu Hasaranga for Sri Lanka. When he has a good day, most of the time Sri Lanka wins. So I just hope that whatever training he's doing it, and a couple of practice games if he can play before he boards that flight to Dubai, and he will be up there for the game on the 13th. All guns are blazing.
Okay. How do you expect the conditions to play out at the UAE in this stage of the year? We had noticed in the Champions Trophy that batting in the UAE was far from easier, and I think his due wasn't a factor. Do you expect the conditions to play a little differently?
I think I'm not too sure about Abu Dhabi, because Abu Dhabi have not covered cricket for a while, but Dubai you can expect some sort of a due, and also the games are starting local time around 6:30, so the sun would have set, and the humidity will play a major role. I was told nowadays it's about 40 degrees in the Middle East, so that certainly will test out players' fitness levels. So it's all about getting the tactics right. And if there is due, I'm sure the players will have a couple of training sessions before the first game to identify what's exactly needed in that stadium. So one thing you got to keep an eye on is the dew factor. So if the dew comes down, and what time does it come down? So all this has to be measured, kept in mind when they make the decision. So as I said, it's a crunch moment, group of death, especially a Sri Lankan group. So you got to get your homework done early.
Just extending on Afghanistan's prospects, you see them reaching as far as the final of the Asia Cup and building on their progress of recent times, with Pakistan, Sri Lanka, and Bangladesh's form being sort of patchy. Can this be Afghanistan's year?
Yeah, Afghanistan certainly is a strong side. They're a dangerous side. I said it before. I mean, they have players in that side who are match winners, and those players have done well in league cricket around the world. And one of the best, the first picks in leagues are most of the Afghan boys. So I was watching the game against UAE yesterday, and you have the likes of Gazamfar, the mystery spinner, in the bench, and you have another match we were in Gulbadin Naib in the bench. Shows the strength of the Afghan T20 side. So watch out for the top three. I think top three batters of Afghanistan is really good, and they're in good form. Zadran, Gurbaz, and Sadiqullah Atal. He's a good player. The way he's batting, I think he just brings that balance in the middle order with all the hard hitters they have in the middle order. So I reckon if Afghanistan starts well, certainly a dark horse going deep into the Asia Cup.
Whenever India and Pakistan meet, the rivalry goes far beyond cricket. Fans on both sides can be extremely passionate, sometimes even critical about why such matches are being played today, such times of political upheaval. From your experience, how do players deal with that sort of pressure, knowing the game can spark such strong emotions from fans?
I think it's very important as a professional sportsman to keep it really simple. Focus on the game rather than trying to put too much pressure on your head as well as to your body. It's a matter of it's a game between bat and ball. Just stick to that. Do your best when it comes to bat and ball, and don't think too much. But if you think too much about what's been happening around the country, I think you're just putting too much pressure to yourself. So my message is loud and clear. Just keep it simple. If you have the ball in hand, do the basics right, get the tactical move right. And as a batter, just focus on the ball, what's coming to you. Keep it really simple.
You're taking a hat-trick against India during Asia Cup 2010, dismissing Ravindra Jadeja, Praveen Kumar, and Zaheer Khan. Would you name it as your most significant moment of playing in Asia Cup, or would it be anything else?
I think three most memorable games that I'll never forget in my life is my debut when I made my debut in 2004 in April against Zimbabwe. That will certainly remind. I mean, I will remember forever. That's the third ODI in Harare. The second would be 2006, my spell against West Indies in the Champions Trophy in Mumbai, where I picked up 6 wickets. And the third would be the hat-trick in the Asia Cup in Double in 2010. I mean, lot of good memories in my career, but certainly these three is on top of the ladder. And if he asks me to choose one, I'll say certainly the hat-trick against India, because it's India. End of the day, so much attention being given for India games, and I was just glad and lucky that I managed to get a hat-trick.
Yeah. And finally, your predictions for the tournament: winners, highest run getter, and highest wicket taker.
Wow, this is hard. Highest run getter, I'm going to say Surya Kumar Yadav, and more than highest wicket take, I'll go the best bowler in economy, considering the economy rate, the wickets and everything. I'm going to name 3 here. One is going to be Jasprit Bumrah. Second is going to be Rashid Khan. And third, it's going to be Dushmanta Chamira.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much, Farveez, for your time. It was an absolute pleasure gaining your precious insights on what we expect to be a swimming tournament. I hope we can do this again.
Thank you for having me, Ayushman. Looking forward to have more moments with you like this.
Yep, surely. Yep. Thank you.
Thank you. Cheers.